And as we bring on the line James Croft, who is going to talk to us about his Joybox ministry. And Mr. Croft, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
And so real quick, first thing off, let's get it out of the way because it's right there. It's pretty much the first line on your biography. You are 3 foot 10 inches tall. Do you have a specific way you like to be referred to?
Just James. A lot of people call me James the Giant. I used to do radio work years ago when I got out of college. In fact, I was interned at a couple stations there at Lake City, and then went to work in McClenny. And so I picked up the moniker of James the Giant, and my stars alive. It stuck.
Well, now, what college did you go to, James?
Well, I went through, I guess now it's Florida Gateway College or something, but of course it was good old LCCC back then. So I just did the AA thing and decided I wanted to work more than school, and might not be the wisest of decisions, but it's worked out in the long run, I guess.
Now, you have an evangelistic ministry. You're based out of Lake Butler, but you live in Olustee, but you're very well known here in the North Florida area.
Yeah, I do a lot of preaching around Lake City and a lot of the churches there, and Suwannee County, and Union and various other areas. My preaching ministry actually takes me throughout the southeastern United States, and also we have a ministry in Ghana, West Africa. We've made 3 trips over there to conduct evangelistic crusades and pastors' conferences and Bible schools for the kids. And I do a lot of youth camps and children's camps and various things like that. So the major emphasis is the preaching ministry, and then we have an internet web-based ministry with videos, YouTube channels, and various things like that. And so we try to utilize every thing that we can come up with to spread the gospel.
James, you mentioned you do a lot of youth ministering. What about today's youth? Are they more skeptical about religion than, say, in the past 10, 15 years, or is it easier to reach them because of all the access that they have to the Internet and everything such as that?
I think it's a double-edged sword. It's easier to reach them because of all the access, but yet at the same time it's harder to break through because of all of the access. In other words, there are so many things now that they can do. You're competing with many other areas of life than what we used to be. I mean, even with the Internet, you're competing with everything else that's on the Internet. Cable channels, satellite TV, texting, and just, and iPods and everything else. So I think it's a little more difficult. But what I have found is that most of the kids that I see, they're really looking for true answers. It's not that they come in skeptical. They're looking for true answers. And I'm going to tell you something. A child will read you quickly, and a teenager even more quickly. And they just seem to be able to figure out real quick, are you for real or not? And if you just sit down and approach it, that hey, here's my story. Let me tell you what's happened to me. Let me tell you what God's done for me. They're usually very open to listen to the Word.
96.5 The Jet, WJTK. It's 8:22 on North Florida Today. We are talking with James Croft, who is also running something called the Joybox that benefits nursing homes in the area. What is the Joybox ministry?
Well, the Joybox ministry is an idea that I came up with. It's similar to the Operation Christmas Child that Samaritan's Purse does, the shoebox gifts for the children, and that's shipped all over the world. And I have a great aunt in Bay Point nursing home there in Lake City that's 99, and Lord wills, she makes it to February. Bless her heart, she'll be 100 years old. And I visit her several times a week, and so through the holidays, I had noticed that just a lot of folks don't, some folks just don't get much. Some folks just don't give it a lot of visiting, and a lot of, there's just so much going on during the holidays, I guess. And so the Lord just impressed it upon my heart that why not take a simple concept like shoebox gifts and incorporate it for local nursing home residents? And so that's what we do. We have folks fill little plastic shoe boxes that they can get at any of the stores, and with certain types of gifts, and we outline all that on the website, and we've worked with the activities directors in the nursing homes in Columbia County and over in Baker County and McClenny. So there's 5 nursing homes that we target. And so we've got a list of items that are acceptable and things that are not acceptable. And we ask folks to fill those boxes and carry them to a drop-off location. And then in January, after kind of the rush of Christmas settles down and the nursing homes seem to have kind of a lot of lull in those first few weeks of January, then we like to go in and distribute those boxes and see if we can share some true Christian joy.
And when you're talking about items to be included in the boxes, you are also talking about personal care items like shampoo, toothpaste, things like that, and puzzle books, socks, anything. Again, you're not looking for something really expensive. If you want to throw in an iPod or an iPad, you're more than welcome to. But basically, you're looking for just basic, nice items to take to people.
Exactly. Just some things that, and of course, a lot of those items are provided. But the activities directors have told us that when they get something in that's given to them, even if it's something they could have gotten through the home or from a family member, it's just even more special when someone gives them the exact same item. And so it's very special to them. We also, things like that we might not even think about, a magnifying glass, little small pocket magnifying glass, so that they might be able to read a little bit better. When we mention the puzzle books, a lot of times we'll encourage folks to find the large print puzzle books. So we need to be mindful of the target audience that we're dealing with here. And also, we focus on things that will fit into the shoebox because we have to be mindful of the space limitations that they have. Most of those facilities in those homes, it's basically a nightstand and a few drawers and a closet. And so we have to be very mindful of that.
We're talking with James Croft on 96.5 The Jet, WJTK. The website, by the way, is jamescroft.org, and you can find out more about the Joy Box Ministries and about his own ministry. And as I've said, it's pretty much unescapable the fact that you are what is now called a little person, 3 foot 10 inches. First thing off, do you find people's attitudes are now more accepting? I mean, 30, 40 years ago, if you were a little person, you basically were in the freak show business. But do you think people are more accepting now of your stature?
I think so. I'm 52 years old, and of course, so 40 or 50 years ago,
yeah.
the attitude was a little beyond me at that point. But I was raised in such a way that hey, you're in a small package, but you can basically do anything anybody else can do, with certain physical limitations, of course. And so that's what I've done. I've always been very outgoing. I've always been one that if there was a goal I had, let's do whatever it takes to get to it. And I mean, I've done everything. I have used my height in most every career that I've ever had, even in radio, even though that doesn't show through, but the tag of James the Giant. And then when I would do personal appearances, I did stand-up comedy. I made it one time all the way to the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee, and got to perform there. And eventually, at the age 26, I was elected to the Baker County Commission. I tell people I was elected in 1984 and promptly unelected in 1988. And then I went to work with the Regional Solid Waste Authority, and for about 17 years I tell people I was a professional trash talker, quite literally. I did environmental education in the school districts in Baker, Bradford, and Union counties, as well as public relations, and had landfill responsibilities. And I put together the first recycling programs in those 3 counties. And now then the Lord began to move me toward ministry, and it opens doors. When people say, "Well, why do you call attention to your height?" God made me this way for a reason, and it does draw attention. And if I can get people to come to a church or come to an event, because if nothing else, out of curiosity, just to see what's this all about, then I get to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with them. And so I'll use what God has blessed me with to bring honor and glory to Him.
Go ahead. Well, it's an inspiring story, and again, you have a terrific resume, for lack of a better word. And again, the website is jamescroft.org, and if people want to get involved in the Joy Box program or know more about you, you do You do preach in throughout the area, and can they get in contact with you through the website as well?
Yes. If they go to the contact section, my phone number and email is there. And then all the links to the various ministries are right there on the front page, the Joy Box. And I'll mention, too, with the Joy Boxes, that people say, well, I just don't have time to run around. I mean, you can put together a box for about $15, but, I mean, you do got to go do a little shopping. And we have some people who say, well, I just don't have time to do it. Can I contribute? And you guys go buy it. And absolutely, we can do that. We are a nonprofit organization. We're 501c3 designation through the IRS, and all of our stuff is open and accountable. There's a board of directors over this ministry, and so there's accountability, and so people should not fear about that if they just want to financially help with the Joy Box or with any other aspect of the ministry. Any of that's fine.
On their check, should they put Joy Box, or does it go to a fund and y'all just take some of the money, the general fund, and take some of the money out for Joy Boxes, or how should they do that?
If they want it designated specifically for the Joy Box, it would be good that if they do a check to put Joy Box in the memo line, and then it will be designated for that area. And on the website, they can donate through PayPal or their credit card. And on the Joy Box section, you'll find several donate buttons for different areas of the ministry. But if they use the one that is on the Joy Box section, that one automatically, PayPal designates that and puts that in the memo that is for Joy Box.